Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I appreciate a couple moments, and I just want to. So let's clarify some things because you're obviously on the West Coast. We're on the East Coast. Some boxing fans might not be familiar with you. You fight at 139, correct?
I fight at 138, but the ranking is at 139.
Okay. And you are currently you're ranked number 1 in the world.
I am.
And you're humble too, which we like. I want to talk to you about a couple things this evening. I know you grew up in Stockton. It's not the easiest place to live and grow up. I know you learned a ton from your father. Your dad was running with gangs back in the day. I know he didn't want you to follow in that type of life. But, you know, if someone were to say to you, and I say this being delicate as possible with respect as well, if someone says March 17th, 2013, how vivid is your memory of that day?
Well, it was terrifying. My mother passed, and, she was taken from me, and it was accidentally. She got shot accidentally, so I didn't know how to react to it. Someone that raised me, she's not here no more, so I just try to take it day by day and try to stay calm and try to stay positive.
Did that experience, I mean, you're talking about you lose your mother at such a young age, and it puts a lot more pressure on your father to raise a family from being a young man and not having your mother around. How did that experience shape you? I mean, you would almost imagine you had to grow up pretty fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, they say whatever doesn't kill you make you stronger. I just try to live it day by day, and my dad was there for me. And that's like pretty much all I need, my sister and brother. And we went through it together, and I didn't give up on my dreams because I know she loved me. She loved to see me box. She loved to see me fight. She wanted to see me accomplish my dreams. And so that's what I'm trying to do.
And how about the fact that your father has obviously been a rock for you guys, and I know he's a heck of a trainer. He's really a rising trainer in boxing out on the West Coast. When I say what does he bring to the table, First of all, I'm not saying as a father. Let's talk as a trainer first, because I'm sure it's got to be interesting to have your father as your trainer. But as a trainer, what is he teaching you as a young fighter?
He's just teaching me how to correct my mistakes. I mastered how to fight at the outside. Now he's training me, teaching me how to fight in the inside. So, every time I have a question for him, he always has an answer. There's never a time where I had a question he couldn't answer me. So that's a very good thing. And he just will make sure he's all about perfection. So if you're making mistakes, he's going to fix you. He's going to make sure when you go in that ring, you're ready and prepared.
Do you forget sometimes that he's got to be a trainer first and foremost, and then your father second? Because, again, you're young enough. And we see sometimes father-sons, that boxer-trainer combination, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. So do you sometimes have to remind yourself, okay, he's dad second, but he's my trainer first?
I don't really got to remind myself. Me and my pops got a good connection. We're very understanding with each other. So, wherever he says, I'll listen, So I don't really have to keep that mentality. I'm just very understanding in what he has to say.
So 138, 139, I would venture to guess you got good foot movement. You're probably pretty slick. You got fast hands. What's your best assets inside the ring? Is it your speed? Is it the mental game? Is it your mind? When someone says Gabriel Flores Jr., what are the couple strengths that come to mind?
How I keep my distance. It's very hard for fighters to get inside if I don't want them inside. And using my jab, my stick. I'm very intelligent in the ring. Sometimes I can read people's body. I can see what they're going to throw before they throw it. So it's just like, I'm real difficult in the ring because when you throw something, I already knew you're going to throw it.
Sure.
And you, and it gets people frustrated.
Sure. And amateurs too, you always have to be a pretty sound counterpuncher, but amateur fighters, sometimes they say an amateur fighter, some of them only have an amateur style, or some say, hey, they're pro ready, they have a pro style. But at the end of the day, you have to get that jab going. Even after you throw combinations, you got to be able to start again with the jab. But more or less, you also have to be a body puncher. I mean, do you see yourself as a fighter that can fight in the pocket? You like to go to the body as well?
Yeah, like I said, we're improving every day. My father's teaching me that right now, and it's actually looking pretty good. I'm mixing it in there, and I'm just learning more and more every day, and that's one of the things I'm learning.
The experience of fighting in Puerto Rico, the experience of fighting in Russia, the experience of fighting all over the place in, I don't want to say hostile environments, but not in your backyard, so to speak. That make you grow up a little more, mature you as a fighter, maybe develop a little more thick skin? How about that experience? Talk a little bit about that and have an opportunity to travel and fight the best in other places and other venues.
Well, it's a blessing. And, it just makes you realize how far I could go in my career. You just have to take it calmly. You can't be so nervous, because when you're nervous, you make more mistakes than you usually do. And, it's just a blessing fighting other people from other countries, from other side of the state, from the world. It's crazy how my career, where I went for at first, fighting just locally and then having world competitions. It was crazy. And, I'm blessed. And it will help me in my pro career, because later on, if I fight for a world title, someone from another country, I've probably seen his style before.
That's actually a pretty good point you bring up. How old are you? Are you 17 yet?
I'm 16. I turn 17 next year.
Okay, so, again, I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you have plans of turning pro within the year? Year plus, maybe 2 years?
I'm still young. We got a lot of thinking to do. So we're not sure about that yet. I'm still young. I'm just moving day by day.
What do you like to do when you're not fighting? I mean, you're still a young kid. I mean, you like to go to the movies. You like to hang out with your boys, with your friends, or is it always gym time?
It's not only gym time. I'm real focused in boxing, but I go out once in a while with my family, with my sister, with my brother. Like I like to go to Raider games. Yeah, I like to go to the movies, like little stuff like that.
You're a football fan.
Yeah, not necessarily a football fan. I'm just like a Raider.
They'll be much better this year. Who do you emulate in the ring? What fighter do you kind of pick up the style, or do you have your own style?
I kind of have my own style, but I pick up a few things from Roy Jones Jr. I watched him since I was a kid. I always admired his style, his skill, his speed, his reflex, everything he has. So, I'll say him, if anybody.
I heard from, I was told too from a pretty good source that you do enjoy watching a lot of the fights and you're extremely knowledgeable. So without putting you too much on the spot, what did you think of the Santa Cruz fight, Frampton fight?
To be honest, I didn't really get to catch that fight. I forgot what I was doing that weekend.
Did you see, how about Mikey Garcia?
I haven't seen that one.
Uh-oh. Tell me a fight that you saw, so I don't have to keep putting you on the spot.
The Sean Porter and Keith Thurman fought.
All right, there we go. Now we're cooking. We were going to go for 3, Gabriel. That's not good. That was a heck of a fight. I mean, you had 2 guys that were engaging. They were fighting in the pocket. They were moving around. What did you like about that fight? That was an action-packed fight. That was a good fight.
Thurman, I liked how Keith Thurman just adapted. He didn't really feel comfortable. Sean Porter was kind of throwing him off, and he just adapted, kind of like the Crawford fight, too, with Postol. He was like, Crawford started off slow, and he usually kind of does, and then he just picks it up at the end. He just catches on, adapts to the situation.
So you like the welterweight division?
Yeah, I do.
That's a stacked division.
The fights I catch.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. Go when you get time. Go back, watch the Santa Cruz fight. Watch the Frampton fight. That was a great fight. I still gave Frampton the edge. Garcia looked sharp after a couple years outside the ring. And I think there is talk that Thurman and Danny Garcia might be early 2017. So that'd be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I would get Keith on that one. I think Keith would take him. Keith has good timing, and he's usually real calm, real smart in the ring.
Yeah, and it's funny too because when I look at Danny Garcia and his career, I think of like an enigma. Like you can't really figure him out. Like what Danny Garcia is going to show up. To this day I still thought he lost to Herrera, and the fight was in Puerto Rico, so he got the benefit of that one. I'm not saying he's a very good fighter, and I'm sure you're going to go through this too down the road. When you're a young pro and they're setting you up with easy opposition and you're padding your record and you're building your record and you're building confidence and momentum, eventually they're going to turn around and they're going to want you to fight the best. And I just look at a guy like Danny Garcia, and sometimes I say to myself, you know, does he really want to fight the best? But again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. You know, Danny Garcia, he's been accused of dodging people here and there, and you know that's crazy. But like what my pop says, he's getting his money.
He's right. You can tell your father he's right. Listen, at the end of the day, everyone's getting paid.
Yeah.
You might have a career as a boxing analyst. Might take my job, my spot.
Hopefully, probably one day I could be a commentator.
Listen, before I let you get out of here, got about a minute to go. I appreciate a couple moments. You know, we're on the East Coast. You're on the West Coast. So, again, first-time audience tuning in. They're listening. They're viewing us on TV, on the ringsidenetwork.tv. They're listening online in Journeyman Boxing. You know, they're following the interview online as well on the radio. Give me one or two things about Gabriel Flores Jr. that nobody knows. Could be personal, could be boxing, and then give me a reason why you're going to be one to watch years from now in boxing. So give me something that maybe people don't know about you.
I'm just a young kid from Stockton, California that's just been striving for boxing. You know, this is a tough sport, tough lifestyle. You know, I had to give up a lot of vacations just to go to big tournaments, and you know, it actually paid off. I won a lot of them. And why am I going to be a great champion? Because I'm so dedicated, and I'm in a city where a lot of people are hungry. Everybody wants to eat, they want to eat. Everybody, you know, they're trying to make it out. So I just take that mentality with me in the ring, and I'm hungry. And my father, he treats me with so much. He gives me all the tools I need, pretty much. He gives me all the skills I need, and so I go in there hungry but smart. And I'm just from a city where everybody's hungry.
Well, listen, you're doing a heck of a job. Your father's doing a heck of a job. Wish you the best of luck. Appreciate you jumping on board for a couple of minutes. You got a bunch of fans down on the East Coast. Certainly going to follow the career. And, again, appreciate you jumping on Double Job Radio on this Friday, pal.
Hey, thank you.
All right, you got it. Be well. Gabriel Flores Jr., ranked number 1 in the world, by the way.